info, whether you're a coach, an agency owner, or a consultant, you've probably noticed that the market has started to shift a little bit. And what that means is that ads are becoming less effective, CPMs are even more expensive, and it's just getting harder to scale and close clients. And so if you've been dealing with that, or if people around you have been dealing with that, I'm going to be showing you in this video what works. This is coming from someone who runs a coaching business where we help like 50 plus coaches. So I'm out here in a farm in middle of nowhere, Australia, pretty cool place. But this is coming from someone who has a coaching program with over 50. I think we're actually close to 80 now coaches in the program where, we've been working with them, scaling them up to $100,000 a month and just seeing what's been working. So that's exactly what I'm going to be breaking down in today's video. Now, the first thing is customers, whether you're in B2B or B2C, understand what an ad looks like now and what an ad sounds like. Before, it used to just be what an ad looked like. Now it's what an ad actually sounds like. And so the way which we fix this is by making ads that don't even look or sound like ads, but rather taking what we know about ads and embedding those principles into a concept, something called a trend that's been organically performing, because then people can't tell the difference between an ad. And so if you're in this info space, you've probably seen the videos of Miros and Figma boards where people are just breaking things down. And so when I saw that, I was like, okay, it's an organic trend. It's not an ad. Cool. Let me make a board and embed all the advertising principles I know into this board. And that ad crushed it. That ad performed extremely well. And so the first kind of thing you should do is look at what's performing organically and then take what you know about ads and embed it into that. If you don't know a lot about ads, you can subscribe to me here on YouTube. I make daily videos breaking down what's working. Thing that I've seen happening a lot lately is that there's an over-reliance on ads. People think that, they're just going to put up an ad out of nowhere and that ad's just going to perform. And they think that ideal customers are just going to come pouring through wanting to work with them. But the truth is that will never work, especially nowadays, because people they don't have enough trust. There's no trust left in the market. Just think about how much it takes, how much trust it actually takes to nurture someone, right? It doesn't happen. So people think that ads alone are going to save them. Ads alone will not save you. And what you need is to build an ecosystem that does the selling for you. This is why that VSL ads don't work anymore. This is why webinar ads don't work anymore. You can no longer be direct in your marketing because there's not enough trust generated through direct marketing. You need to get eyeballs and over a long period of time, warm those eyeballs up. This is how you're going to be able to not only close a lot of clients, but collect a lot of cash up front because of the trust, because people like you, they trust you, they resonate with you, and so on. The fire right now, it's kind of just a mess right now, to be fair. But I'm going to talk about something which has been working insanely good for anyone in B2B or B2C. And it's going to sound funny, but I want you to see it through. Retargeting ads. Now, we have seen that a lot of people don't actually run proper retargeting ads. And what you don't realize is that you have had in the last 180 days, a ton of qualified leads visit your profile. Maybe they didn't follow you, but they visited it. They've maybe had a friend tell them to check you out, right? So there's a lot of qualified leads who have visited your profile. Maybe they haven't followed you, maybe they haven't converted, whatever. And what you should do is retarget those. So how do you do that? Go into your ads manager, create a custom audience. And what we've seen work best is anyone who visits your profile and anyone who engages with a post or reel in the last 180 days. Now, what you want to do is you want to create an ABO campaign where the targeting is just that group of people on manual, nothing else. You can do locations if you think that, you've had some reels go viral and people in unqualified countries have visited. But if you've just been running, to pretty qualified countries, you haven't really organically popped off too much, just run it as completely broad retargeting and put as many, this is the most important part, as many testimonials as possible in there. What this does is it starts to build a perception where you can have a frequency of literally 8. So you can have a frequency of 8. That means that the average person sees your ad not once, not twice, but 8 times. And this means that they are starting to see, okay, this guy, he or this girl has a ton of client results. They're absolutely crushing it. They must be the solution. They must be the person I need to reach out to and work with. So this strategy has worked extremely well of literally making an ad set, using the retargeting audience and throwing in as many testimonials as possible, because people start seeing, oh my God, this person is a killer. They got all these client wins, all these client results, everything like that. I need to work with them. And that will crush it, right? So the ad set could have a frequency of 10 and I wouldn't care, because that means that the average person has seen my testimonials 10 times. And it's a volume game. It's about having as many in there as possible. Final thing I'm going to talk about in today's video is something that's been working really well in B2C, which is kind of like, I'm going to call this the magician angle, where you kind of, you know how magicians, they'll do something with this hand, but then over here on this other hand is like where they're actually doing the trick, but you're looking over here. This is how you can run your B2C. So what this means is, for example, you could start showing your lifestyle from B2C or B2B, sorry. You could start saying, look, how much money I'm making from this. This is the lifestyle I'm able to live because I run, you know, a B2B agency. And guys, like, I don't sell a course or anything, but if you want to kind of check out what I'm doing, you can, you know, go to my Instagram page, send me a message. And so what they're doing, what people have been doing, which is working really well, our clients, is kind of hiding the fact that they sell anything. And they really frame it like they're just doing that business model. And if you kind of want to learn more, if you want some help, like, just message me on Instagram, because in B2C, people are really desperate. Like, people will literally reach out to you. People will message you and, you know, they'll be like, what's the source? I want to make money. How do you do this? Blah, blah, blah. And so as long as you get people into the conversation, you can sell them with this approach that it's like really exclusive, that it's really one-to-one, that you don't have this massive program, but instead it's like, yeah, like, this is just the life I'm living from doing this. Like, you know, if you want, we can get on a call and I can help you out. And then, like, when you're on the call with them, you could pitch them something really like, yeah, there's I have like a small little program on the side. It's really exclusive. I don't want it to be like a course or anything. And so it's kind of like this angle where you hide what you do and you kind of like make it seem like you're really just running like whatever your business model is, and then selling it in a really low key way. That has been crushing a lot. And it's kind of like what Iman does. This is like another thing I want to talk about, where it's literally, to crush it, you do a flywheel between B2B and B2C. So you start out with B2B, you start selling people, you know, businesses on different packages, and then you start making content around that, showing the lifestyle that you live, obviously, from doing B2B. And then you say, like, and then that starts to attract a B2C audience, right? And then that B2C audience, you can start selling them, look, I'll teach you how to do this. I'll teach you how to run the business I run. And then you start selling the B2C audience. And then when you've sold the B2C audience, when it starts to plateau, you can go back to the B2B side of things and be like, look how many people I just sold, you know, with this funnel, whatever. And then you can start closing B2B clients. And so it's like this ladder where it's like, okay, now you can charge more to B2B. Now you can sell more to B2C. Since you have charged more to B2B and made more money, you can, you know, sell more people, invest more in content. And it's literally just like a flywheel between B2B and B2C, which is working insanely well. With that said, guys, that's going to be the end of this video because my fire is out. But if you want to see daily videos where I break down exactly what's working in the info space, how I personally scaled to $80,000 a month at 16 years old, then you can go ahead, subscribe to me here. Once again, I make daily videos breaking everything down for completely free. And yeah, see you on the other side.